So thank you all for joining us. So basically, Bal and I, we are taking we're following a graduate course in Birmingham, in UK, and it's a master's in social media. And one of our assignments this semester is to do this hangout, or if you want, a social media event. And given that both Bal and I work in non-profit environments, we thought it would be a good idea to create an event where we basically share our experiences and also discuss, if you want, the use of social media and online communication tools in times of crisis. So basically, I just can say a few words about what I'm doing, and then I pass over to you, Bal, and then maybe we can do a little, how do you say that? I mean, each of you can maybe say a few words about who you are and what you do. So I'm based in Geneva, in Switzerland, and I'm working as a social media officer for the International Committee of the Red Cross, or the International Red Cross, if you want. So basically, my work has been over the past 3 years to develop a strategy for how the ICRC can use social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter in its external communication. So, and in addition to that, also I've been developing guidelines and giving trainings in-house on how staff members could use social media with care, if you want. Because many of our operations, our key work, the ICRC's key work is in the field, in armed conflicts around the world, like Afghanistan and Somalia and Syria, for example. So it's very sensitive context, obviously. So we are quite concerned and careful when we are exploring how to use social media. Okay, I pass over to you, Bal, so you can say a few words about what you're doing.
Okay. Like Isaac said, I'm studying at Birmingham City University, and we're studying our Masters in Social Media. I work for the local authority in Wolverhampton, and I am a marketing communications officer. Local authorities are renowned in England, are renowned for being a bit slow with the uptake of social media, but in recent months we've taken on quite a bit, and it's getting really popular. So it's now how to kind of spread the word and make the most of it and use it to our benefit, really, and try to convince people that it can be helpful and useful. So it's all very much a really steep learning curve, but we're trying to kind of see what the advantages are of using it, and making sure that all local people take part as well. So that's me. So if you'd like to all maybe introduce yourselves and just say where you're from and a little bit of what you do. So would Adeline, would you like to go first?
Yeah, no problem. So actually, I know Isaac because I'm currently enrolled in a master degree in Geneva in the international affairs, and my master thesis is specifically on the use of social media in the International Committee of the Red Cross, and I'm looking more at its impact on its communication policy, actually, public communication policy. So I'm interested in the link between social media, public communication, and humanitarian organizations. So that's mainly this, what I want.
Excellent. Sari?
Hi. I'm Sari Satyogi. I'm based in Geneva as well. We are relatively new in social media, I would say. We started using social media extensively for the last 2 years. But since then, the response, the engagement has been quite interesting. We got a lot of interaction from the public. So we are really looking on educating the public about public health messages, and also contain rumors sometimes. So it's quite an interesting area.
Okay.
And audience as well.
I missed where is it you were, because I kind of missed the beginning bit of that.
I'm in Geneva.
Okay.
Sarah is working for the WHO, the World Health Organization.
Oh, okay.
That's the part I missed out on. It's a bit of sound problems, I think. Okay.
Steph?
Aha, right. Right, I'm Steph, and I come from a multifaceted approach to this conversation. I work for a company in Birmingham called Podnosh that specialises in helping the public and the public sector speak to each other. So that could cover crisis communications and blogging and Twitter and Facebook and all that kind of thing. I also run a hyper-local website in Wolverhampton, wv11.co.uk. And we won awards during the riots last year for our crisis communications in the city. And as a back result of that, we were invited to Wolverhampton City Council to meet with some of the communications team to help consult on their social media policies.
Right.
All right. Okay, and I think that Kati Timar doesn't seem to have the technical, if you want the webcam working or audio, but he writes that it's working for disaster risk reduction and prevention web.net, which is also, correct me if I'm wrong, a Geneva-based organization, web service, right? Okay, good stuff. Maybe we can, I'll pass back to you, Val, and maybe if you want to start to say a few words more in detail about, because what we've done basically, Val and I, is prepared 5 minutes each, couple of slides and thoughts that we want to share with you under the theme humanitarian crisis, if you want, social media and humanitarian crisis. So I pass over to you, Val, and then come back to me, and then each and all of us can basically, let's have an open discussion for the remaining 48 minutes or so.
Okay, yeah. We've Isaac and I have both prepared some a presentation which we will give you a link to in a few days' time that you can download and share. Isaac's taking really looking at it kind of an international aspect of it because of the work he does, whereas I'm kind of looking at it of a more local aspect because of where I am. I work for a local authority, and Steph probably knows a lot about the stuff that I'm going to talk about. Really, we normally
today, so
Wolverhampton is. It's kind of an average city. It's, nothing major dramatic ever happens, but we did have kind of what's classed as a kind of, I suppose, two major incidents in a space of about 7 months. There was the rioting in August last year, and then we also had quite a large fire in February where one of our big companies, a timber merchant, actually caught fire and was actually destroyed more or less. Now those are classed as major incidents for us as a city because it involves lots of agencies working together, pulling together. In the first one in August, when there was lots of disturbances in various cities, and obviously Wolverhampton unfortunately was one of them, that was probably the first time that we probably saw social media really come together and really kind of take a centre stage when it came to sharing information, sharing reliable information, and also reassuring people, stopping rumours. I mean, the rumours were just everywhere. People thought various shopping centres were on fire, and all it did, without social media, rumours like that would have just fueled, extra tension and more people. And I think it would have probably spread the disturbances further. But instead, what happened was we had reliable sources. We had actually Steph with WV11. We had police services kind of saying, no, there is nothing there. Calm down, calm down. And it was amazing. And people didn't have to go and see what the disturbances were. I mean, the other thing was YouTube. People on their phones filming groups, gangs, sharing it on YouTube straight away. That was the first time. I mean, I was sitting at home listening to a helicopter flying around and then just constantly. It was probably the first time I ever actually used Twitter properly, purely because of the reassuring messages that were coming along. The second one was the fire, obviously. Again, the YouTube images were used by, you know, local and national TVs to show what was happening, and the news of the events was spread in seconds, minutes, and, you know, the thought of them going viral is just amazing. From the first incident, what we realised was that you can't sit back. You have to embrace social media, and you have to do it fast. And as a local authority, we did. I'll be completely honest. We had a Twitter account that only a few people had access to, so we didn't have very many followers either. And we weren't known for our, you know, people didn't look up to us and say, right, we trust the message you give us, because they didn't really know who we were. So, I mean, our following kind of went up by 250 in 24 hours, which is quite a lot. But we still, like Steph will say, we were rubbish because people didn't know. And it takes a lot to convince the people at the top that actually, you know, had we had extra kind of technology available to us and already established, you know, we could have been a lot faster with the message. Instead, we did rely on other agencies to spread the word for us, such as Mark Payne, the police officer, and obviously WV11 from where Steph is from as well. So, but since then, it's, you know, everyone's been a little bit more open. We've been given the opportunity to kind of use social media widely, and you know, people trust us as a communication officer. I should be able to, you know, I should be trusted to put a message out there. So I think we're getting there slowly. I mean, they've let me go and do a degree in social media, so that's always a good sign. But on the local aspect, I've just seen how the impact of it has rocketed in the 7-8 months. And it's unfortunate it's because of incidents that have happened in the city. But I think it's making us prepared that should anything else happen again, our emergency planning should be more focused, and we should have this technology in place that, you know, we're not left standing behind again, and we can actually control it before it does escalate and probably, you know, gets really bad. So that's from a local point of view. Isaac, would you like to talk about it from an international aspect?
Absolutely, or from exactly from an international point of view. I mean, as you all know, the Red Cross, first of all, is a complicated movement. It's a big movement, and I think you, Adeline, know this as well as I do. But in the world, you have 190 Red Cross and Red Crescent organizations. For example, you have the Swedish Red Cross, the French Red Cross, and the, let's say, Pakistani Red Crescent, and so on. All these national organizations, they operate essentially both the field work and the communication work and everything else they do individually. Then in Geneva we have these two organizations, the International Red Cross and the Federation, jointly, if you want, creating an umbrella. The ICRC, where I'm working, is focusing on those contexts which are, if you want, suffering from an armed conflict or a situation of violence. So both I think that what we see, I mean, I try to define things as trends to see what's happening, how the communication environment is changing. I mean, there are staggering numbers. If you look, for example, in the world today, you have 2 billion internet users, and I think the latest numbers of Facebook users is closer to 900 million. So Facebook is becoming really operating system of the web. That's the way people want to have the information. And that's also how they want to interact with organizations like the Red Cross. And the same thing with Twitter is becoming, if you want, the default standard for breaking news, but also for people to share, as Bal said, very action-oriented field perspectives on what's happening.